Hi, this is SMYCHO, and today's project is this triangular gemstone box. It opens up just like this, and you can fill it with many things. You can fill it with treats, candy. You can even make triangular shaped cards and envelopes and tuck them in here. It's a very good sized box. It's a 4-inch equilateral triangle and it's about 1 inch high, but it is tapered a bit, so just keep that in mind. But yes, it's just a cute little box, and I came up with this when I was trying to think of a way to make a triangle box that I haven't seen before, and when I was fiddling around with paper and dimensions, this came about. So I'm excited to share this with you. So for this project, you will need a piece of paper cardstock at 8.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Okay, and the first step is very crucial and very important. With the 4.5 inch at the top, you want to score it at 1 inch. Okay, that's the first thing you must do. Now, with this 1 inch strip at the top, this is also important. We want this inch at the top. We want to mark. We're not going to score, we're just going to mark some places. We're also going to do some partial scoring. So we're going to do our first mark at 1/2 inch, and I'm just twisting my stylus just so that I know that there's this, might be hard to see, but so I know that there's this mark here for me at 1/2 inch. Now we're going to do a partial scoring up to this first score line here at 1 inch, and remember, we're just going to the first score line. Okay, and another partial score line at 4, at 5 inches, at 6, and 6.5. Alright, that's all the partial scoring. Now you want to rotate it 180 degrees, okay, so that this 1 inch strip is at the bottom. And we're going to mark again, and this time we're only going to mark. So we want to mark it at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, and 7.5. Okay. Alright, so I took a pen and just went over the marks and the intersections of these score lines, and I just dotted them so that I know where they are, because the next step is to make diagonal lines, and if you can't see them, then it's kind of hopeless. So with the 1 inch strip at the top, you want to make your first diagonal score, and you want to need a ruler and a stylus. You can also use a bone folder. So there's this horizontal score line here where it meets at the edge of the page. From here to the second mark we made on the bottom from the left, that's where we want to make our diagonal line. Okay. Okay, just like that. We're also going to make a diagonal line from this first dot here on this line with the third dot from the left. Okay, so we're gonna connect these points and make a diagonal line. And I like to go over the line a couple times so that it's really scored. Okay, now I'm going to take this, the second dot from the bottom, on the bottom from the left, this dot, and I'm going to meet this with the third or the second colored in dot here. Basically, we're going to make a diagonal line here. Okay, so we should have a triangle here and a triangle here formed. Okay, the next diagonal line we're going to form is from this dot to this dot. Okay, so when you've scored, you should see two large triangles overlapping. Okay, the next diagonal line will be the third black dot. Okay, and we're going to make a diagonal line to the second black dot from the right. Okay, on the bottom from the right. And this score line, the other score lines, we kind of kept it within the point, but this diagonal line, we're going to go from the bottom all the way to the top. So just guide your ruler among these points from the bottom all the way to the top. We want to score it all the way to the top. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Alright, the next one. So we just scored here. We want to make another diagonal line from this point to the first dot on the bottom from the right. And we're going to just score the lines between the points. We're not going to go all the way to the top. The next diagonal line will be from here, the remaining black dot, and we're going to score it against this corner here. So line your ruler up to the dot in the corner of the paper and just score. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so your scored line so far should look like this. Now we're going to score a couple more, but we're going to flip it. So our 1-inch strip is at the bottom. And remember, we have a dot here. We're going to score a line from a horizontal score line here that runs along here, from this point to our dot here. Okay, just like that. And then we also have a point here on the top, and we want to make a diagonal line that is parallel to the diagonal lines here and here. Don't worry if it's not perfect, you just eyeball it. That looks parallel enough for me, so I'm going to score that. Okay, so all together, your piece of paper should look like this. Now before we start adding adhesive and everything, we have a few bits to trim. So I'm just gonna fold this strip here, the 1-inch strip. I'm gonna take my scissors with the strip facing towards you. There are vertical lines here, 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 here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertical lines. We just want to cut up on those. Just like that. Okay. So there's this tab here. We want to keep this tab. We want to completely remove. Let me draw it in for you. So remember we've scored our line here. We want to get rid of this. So we want to cut on our scored line here. We want to completely get rid of this rectangular tab. We want to keep this, but remember we have this long score from bottom to the top that we did. So there should be a score line you should see on this tab. We want to trim on this tab and get rid of this triangular bit right here. And then we just want to remove completely these tabs here. So this is going to be gone, this will be gone, and this will be gone. Okay. Alright, I was too excited to cut or something that I cut off our tab. So don't do that. You just want to cut off these three here. Cut off this triangle. Okay, and cut off this rectangle. And cut this triangle off. Alright, so this strip here, the only tabs remaining should be these two. And they should look like this. Alright, we have a few more bits to cut up. So when we look at our base here, there's a triangle in this corner. There's a triangle there, and there's a triangle here. And we want to completely get rid of that. So just like that, and at this corner. So it should look like that. The last piece to get rid of is, so we still have these two dots here. So the second dot from the right, we want to cut up, and we want to, you're just gonna guess, and you just want to make like about this size shape. About it should look like an equilateral triangle. Alright, so I'm just gonna cut that off. So this is gone too. Now, the last bit to cut on is, there should be a triangle and the point should be facing down, and there should be a small triangle on the bottom here, and the point should be facing up. We want to cut right here. Okay, so let me just cut up on that. Okay, so we want this little triangle, so it should look like this. Okay, now that's all the cutting that we'll do. Now all you need to do is just come and fold all the lines that you scored on. And you can take your bone folder and, you know, give them a crease really well. Alright, so this is what it should look like. So I've already prepared mine on a different piece of paper. So remember, don't remove all the tabs up here. We want to keep 2 tabs. Alright, so for adhesive, I'm going to use my score tape. You really want a strong adhesive because it is a box that we're making. And let me show you first how we're going to form our box. So this little triangle that we made a sliver out of, that's So if I hold it with the tabs facing me, this tab folds in, and this edge here should meet up with this edge, just like that. Alright, and this tab here will fold in, and this edge will meet up with this edge. So just like that. Okay, we can see that our box will even close up without any adhesive. But we want the adhesive so that it won't fall apart. So the only adhesive you technically need will be on this tab, but I like to keep it on this short tab just for looks and for peace of mind for myself, for my sake. So I'm just putting a little there, and then I'm going to put score tape alongside the scored line on this tab, as well as the end. Okay, so our adhesive should look like that. It should be just on this tab and this little triangle. Okay, so I'm going to take off the backing of this, attach it just like so. Okay, take off the backing of this. Alright, fold it ever so gently. Okay, and remember, meet this edge with this edge. Okay, just like that, and you can take your bone folder and really just give it a nice varnish inside so the tape really adheres to the paper. Okay, now we want to close in our tabs just like that and fold in our box just like that. So it's a cute box just as itself. I mean, I haven't really seen a box like this anywhere. So it would be a cute box just like this, but I'm going to do similar decorations as I did here, just few and basic. And all you need to do is take some adhesive. I'm going to take my score tape again and cut out a few pieces. Okay. And stick them on. I'll stick where I put them before. Take off the lid. Oops. Alright, and I have a piece of twine here, and I'm just going to loop it around. So loop it. Doesn't have to be big. It can be whatever size you want. This is giving me trouble. Alright, just like that. And this time I'll just do it the same. Oops. Okay, and attach it just like that. And I like to take just a little bit more score tape and place that over the loops. Okay, just so that everything will stay put. Okay, take off the backing of that, and then I have 3 flowers that I've punched out and put a rhinestone in, and I'm going to take my awl and my mini glue dots here and flip them over. . and take the glue dots and cover up the seams here. Oops. Gotta cover up this tail here. Just like that. One more. And I'll just put it right here. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take a rhinestone. And just like this box, I'm just going to put this in the corner here. Close this back up. So there we go. It's an adorable triangular gemstone box. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and if you wish to see more projects from me, please subscribe to my channel. And check out my social links if you haven't already to see the projects I'm working on currently or any past projects you might have missed. But anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.